Howdy, this is Sailor the Piperman, Piper the Sailorman, coming to you once again with his favorite pipe, Peterson Harps pipe. I have a lot of great pipes. I also like this. K Woody. Beautiful metal K Woody pipe. Really easy, nice stem, wide stem. Right now I'm smoking some Sutliff. So I have to get me another one because I'm gonna wear this Bob Peterson pipe out. It's just a bent. So relaxing. And here's beautiful pipe. I'm here tonight to see how everyone's doing. I want to talk about some of my sailor adventures. I was able to travel around the world. All I need is 500 nautical miles, and I could say I've been around the world by water. Which is I would have to take a trip from the Mediterranean into the Suez Canal and come out of the Suez Canal, and I would have traveled the length of the world. Now, as a sailor, if you've been a real sailor, you've been to various parts of the world. I've been to the Arctic Circle, North Atlantic, Mediterranean seas. It's amazing, like sailors back then, if you traveled the Mediterranean seas, you were considered a great sailor, right? The English then began traveling the 1600s, 1500s. Across the Atlantic. And there were parts of the Atlantic that sailors didn't want to venture out into. The Azores, little islands off the coast of Portugal. The Azores. The whalers, they made their life whaling. From Portugal, they ventured out onto these islands and they stayed at these islands because of the whales. They made a living off the whales. And gas stories of sea monsters. They're called sea monsters. They didn't know what they were. So those stories got passed on to other sailors about things they saw. And if you were a sailor, you would sit around and you would talk to other sailors and whalers and people that have traveled great distances on seas. Like, have you guys had any see weird things and stuff like that? So I remember one time I went on a catamaran. Is it catamaran? I think it's what they call it. Had 2 hulls, huge net, huge mass. And at the time I was young. I was about 22. We were off the west coast of Australia, Fremantle, Australia. And we were both avid pipe smokers. I was young, of course, with my Captain Black. People ask me, why you like Captain Black so much? I tell you why, because it's my lucky tobacco. I've been in most situations, perilous situations, like life and death situations. And I've been smoking Captain Black, or I've had a pouch of Captain Black on me. And I was rescued from those situations, having a pouch of Captain Black. But not like this, the Captain Black, the pouch. So I always consider it my lucky charm. I don't believe in luck, my good fortune. I knew the the man upstairs, but I didn't have that knowledge back then. So the Captain Black, I look at the Captain Black as my lucky charm. It's like your mother gives you Sailor's Cross or something to have to do with, I forgot what the name of the saint was, the Sailor Saint. They had, I guess the Irish and the English had the saint for those sailors that went out to sea. I forgot the name of it. I used to know it. Oh, we're off the coast of Fremantle, Australia. I have to say the scariest, most treacherous waters I ever been on. The wind shifts, the velocity of the wind, there would be no wind, and all of a sudden the wind would pick up, and the waters were always choppy, huge swells. We decided to go out there. We went out there. Got up early in the morning, about 3 p.m. Prepare the ropes, prepare the food. Mind you, there was no such thing as cell phones. None of that stuff. We had a radio, 4-band radio, and some walkie-talkies. That was it. And so, before we go out, we check the rigs, we check everything. We'd also practice shifting from one side to the other side, holding on. You had to know your knots. We went out. We cruised out. No engine. No engines. We was out there going about 5 knots. Then it was 10 knots. So we lit up. That time I was smoking a Canadian. I had an Ashton Canadian, really nice, wide bit. I'm sorry, it wasn't a Canadian. It was a Canadian in the sense that it was the style of it. It was not an Ashton. It was a early Upshaw, I think it was. Oh. We're sailing along, looking at the southern sky. And something hit the hull. on the port side. I went flying. What the heck is that? He looked up. And when I looked into the water, I'm telling you, that sea creature looked like a dragon. Like, you saw the Hobbit, the dragon in the Hobbit flying and talking? Its facial features was like one of those Oriental Chinese dragons on the water. At first, I said, "Do you see what I see?" He looks at me, I looked at him, and I'm like, "What the heck is this, man? I'm in a dream or what? What the heck happened?" He says, "No, man." He checked his starboard side, and that was in the hull. So we were about 50 miles offshore. So we're heading back to Fremantle because we didn't know what was going on. And I saw that in the water, and he was like, "Nah, stop. You ain't see nothing." I said, I saw a freaking dragon. He said, "Man, it can't be. Ain't no dragons around, man." We were a little tipsy. I said, "I know what I saw, man. That thing looked like a dragon. It looked like a dragon." It probably was a... So I agree with him. I said, "Okay, it was like a blue whale. It was probably a blue whale." So we're heading back. We're about 15 miles off. When that damn thing hits us again. This time he saw it. He comes over to me and goes, he called me Miggy. He's, "Miggy, that's a freaking dragon under the water." By that time, the hairs of the back of my head stood up, man. And he kept circling around. I said, "What the heck is this?" He said, "I don't know, man. Let's get out of this water." Let's get out of this water. I said, "Could them ancient sailors be right? Them sailors back in the 1800s that wrote on this stuff, that there's sea monsters out there?" And all I could think about, yo, man, let's get out this water. I read Moby Dick. And if that is true, I don't want that thing. It's telling us to get out his territory. I tell you, man, when we got there, Australians were helping us. More of the... And the pilot tugboat kept coming through. This is... Oh, man. Australia, like, oh, a ghost. I'm like, what the hell is he saying? But he sounded... Australians got this accent. He sounded more Irish than he did an Aussie. And so he was talking to me this Gaelic tongue. I didn't know. And I said, "What is he saying?" He's saying that I look like I saw a ghost. I said, "No." And he laughed. "You saw it." He goes, "You saw it." I said, "What do you mean? What is he talking about?" He said, you saw the monster. You saw the sea monster." I stepped back and looked at him. I said, "What?" "No, man, I didn't see nothing." He said, "You saw it?" "You saw it?" He goes, "I knew it. I knew someone would see it. I saw it 20 years ago. I saw it 20 years ago." And I go like, I looked at him, "Are you serious?" He says, "It looked like a dragon." I go, "What I saw, people not gonna believe me. It looked like a dragon." And then he saw it. He saw the same thing. We saw it at 50 miles out, and we saw it at 25 miles in, pulling in. He goes, I've been waiting for the longest to find out if somebody else would see it. I know I'm not crazy. And his wife was like over there somewhere, Australian women. They were, I don't know what they were doing. So we was walking over there, and the old man's walking next to us, and he's got little King. He's got little King. And he goes, you see? He's telling his wife, I'm not lying. He goes, he had a small little pipe. He goes, I'm not lying. This sailor man here, and they saw it. And the woman was going like, they were standing there, and they couldn't believe it. And a whole group of people just started gathering together to hear our story. I said, if you were out there, you were in the water, and this happened, and that happened. And it's amazing how if you live in a whaling village or sea village, you know, where they do a lot of whaling, a lot of sailing. Like if you go to Montauk Point, or you go to some places like Puget Sound up in the state of Washington, and you hang out long enough with people that are seagoing people, they've all said the same thing. Now you talk to people inland, people that don't know nothing about the sea, have never been out to sea for long periods of time, they have a whole different thing. They call it a mythology. But I beg to differ. You go to sea villages that have been around for a long time, like in Oregon, it was settled by the Russians. You check out their stories. They got like myth, folklore. They call it folklore. That people don't believe it. That they say there's deep parts of the water where there are these type of sea monsters. That was my story. Have you been out to sea? I've traveled a long time. I see miles and miles at sea, man. And let me tell you something. I know what I saw. I saw what we call a water dragon. Huge, black. It was telling us, this is my water. You're in the wrong place, buddy. You know, underwater, I got great respect for water, man. Deep oceans. I got modern technology, but these sailors back in the day, sailing, and all they had was, you had to read the sky, and the navigational tools weren't as good as ours, man. There was some sailors, boy. Magellan, Americo Vespucci, Captain Black. It's amazing, man. These pirates, we think of them as pirates, as criminals and everything. We never talk about their skills, as sailors, and the whole culture that's around that. I remember hanging in Marseille. I was in Marseille, France, and they have a huge marina there, and they have these small little taverns, and I go in there, and you always find French seagoing people, crew, yacht crews, merchants. Is usually the red light district, all kind of, and then you have some that were like real sailors. They've been out there, these huge tankers, man, on their night watch. What they see now in the ocean. Now, can there be some prehistoric animals? I think so, man. I think so. There's stuff out there. I believe it because Jacques Cousteau said he saw a sea monster. He didn't know what it was. He believed in mermaids. Did you know that Jacques Cousteau believed in mermaids? Now he wouldn't say it on a TV camera. I believe Jacques Cousteau. There's things out there that man just do not understand yet. Well, that's my story, Sailor the Piperman, Piper the Sailorman. Have a good smoke. Have a wonderful day.